My mother was gone. I never thought I would survive her death. I was, in so many ways, her creation. She literally spoke me into being. When she was pregnant with me, she told everyone she was having a girl, and they believed her. This was 1958, when she was in her 30s, and no one had even heard of amniocentesis. Her friends at her job at St. Michael's Medical Center decorated the nurses' lounge in pink. All the baby presents wore pink, the jumpers, booties, coats, and hats. I told that doctor, if it's a boy, don't even bring him to me, she used to tell me. She had already birthed 3 sons and was ready to welcome her daughter. After I arrived, she went to work designing her girl. I would have everything she thought her cherished daughter should have. I took piano and ballet lessons and wore well-made white shirts with Peter Pan collars and wool-plaid jumpers and skirts. I even wore a camel hair coat to my elementary school, which was right across the street from our house, close enough for my mother to watch over me. I was an introspective child, quick to cry, more at ease with my books and dolls than with the rough and tumble of the playground. As tough and no-nonsense as my mother could be, she had breathed into me not just life, but also the gift of sensitivity. I felt everything too deeply. The gift would become my burden. For 2 years before my mother died, I had been in a midlife malaise made worse by the arrival of menopause and the unrelenting routine of ferrying school-aged children while caring for my aging parents. When my mother stopped breathing, I fell deep into a cavern of grief. I missed her with an ache that bore into every cell of my body. I couldn't get out of bed other than to wake my daughter up for 8th grade, drive my son, a 2nd grader, to school, and slug through walking Charlie, my constant companion in the form of a Bichon Poodle mix. My entire body hurt, yet I was numb. When my family came home in the evening, I'd move from my bed to the sectional in the basement and watch TV. It didn't matter what was on, I simply wanted the noise. I had expected to feel grief for the first several months, but after 7 months passed, 8, a year, and I still couldn't lift myself out of the pervasive sadness. I didn't know what to do. When I climbed into bed at night, this feeling, this nausea of the soul, as the writer David Foster Wallace described it, clung to me with my pajamas and woke up in the night before I did. It greeted me as I opened my eyes at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I would turn to look at my husband Cliff, lying on the pillow next to mine. Feeling me stir, Cliff would open his eyes. "You're going to have to put me away," I would tell him every morning and every night. "I can't keep going on like this." Cliff had lost his father to cancer only 2 months before my mom died, and he was still wrestling with his own grief, but he pushed it away to try and help me deal with mine. "You just miss her," he said, trying to soothe me. "It'll pass." But it didn't. I made an appointment with a therapist provided by the hospice that had helped care for my mom during her final days. This couldn't be normal grief, I told the grad student sitting in for the psychologist who'd had an emergency and didn't show. The student was empathetic but ineffectual. I was so swamped by sorrow at this point, it's possible that no one could have reached me. I remembered how Cliff had cried when we got the news about his dad, how he had comforted his mom and helped plan a beautiful memorial service, and then, eventually, went back to work. He was sad, for sure. He had worshipped his dad, but he had remained himself as he dealt with everything, even maintaining his outrageous sense of humor. I, on the other hand, was definitely not myself. Whenever I talked about my needing to be institutionalized, Cliff would respond with his trademark wit. "You'll be like Diana Ross in Lady Sings the Blues, with dark sunglasses on in a white bathrobe and a towel around your head," he joked.